This is the real deal for the retro gamers.
Alright everyone, this is Guillermo,
Hello, I'm David.
and we're the Retro Gamers.
Retro gamers! Yeah!
I love it. So, this is actually more of the review portion of the show, because, you guys saw us watch we played Tenchu Stealth Assassins. We played it all the way through with some success and some failures. And so then I thought, how awesome would it be to actually just review the game now? Because I know that a lot of people do Let's Plays, but I really want to know what's going on in someone's head while they're doing that Let's Play.
Interesting.
I'm more of that kind of person. That's part of the reason why I've studied psychology, photography, a little bit of AI, computers, animation. I want to know how things work. I'm just curious in that way.
I did not know that about you.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, that's okay. And so with this review portion, it's like we can get a little bit in my head, what was going on while I was playing, or, David Clark, that type of stuff. So I thought that it'd be...
That's me.
I thought that it would just be beneficial. So anyways, let's get this started.
Yeah. Tenchu Stealth Assassins. What's your first impression?
So, looking back, like I said, when I was a kid, I said, I remember saying, I thought the game was awesome. And I think that it's still awesome. I remember saying that I enjoyed the game, that I really liked it because of the violence. And I remember saying that I didn't like the second one a lot because...
Not as much violence.
Well, the violence is still there, but I thought that the voice acting was still annoying. I'm going to have to take back some of my words because Tenchu Stealth Assassins has some annoying voice acting.
I don't know if I'd say it was annoying. Definitely bad. But enjoyable nonetheless. Kind of like watching a really bad B movie. It goes so far past bad into good. Not that it's, well made, but that it's extremely enjoyable to watch. That's become a whole thing in itself.
It's not iconic like Resident Evil 1.
No.
Resident
Evil 1 is definitely a lot more iconic in its badness.
I wish it could be iconic like that.
It deserves it.
But, my first impressions of the game as a kid was I thought, this game is awesome. I want to play this more, and I'm actually interested in playing it because I think one of the best ways that you can tell whether a game is good or not, and this isn't foolproof, is you see someone playing it and you yourself want to play it and experience it.
That's a good way to think of it. I like that.
And well, the first time that happened for me was when my friend Art was playing Grand Theft Auto 3, and I thought, this looks awesome. And
that is a fun game.
And he died, and I ended up playing it, and I thought, this is awesome. The way that this game presented itself was convincing enough to actually translate into the gameplay. The game succeeded. So I remember when I was in third grade, watching my friends Hugh and Hung play Tenchu for the first time. Same thing. It looked awesome. And then
you wanted to play it.
Yeah, I wanted to play it. And then when it came to me actually playing it, I thought, yeah, this is awesome. I'm glad that I'm playing this. This isn't, it's not like me pulling teeth to enjoy this game.
Right.
Which, there's some games that it does feel like you're pulling teeth.
Yeah. Or it takes a long time to get into the good part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This game starts off, you're like, whoa, I want to kill these dudes. I want to attack these puppies. I want to try all the different ninja tools that you can get, because you can't take them all.
No,
which
exactly.
is really cool. You don't have everything at your disposal when you're playing. You have to pick and choose. I like that.
Yeah, it's really... This game is limited by its technology, but I think what they managed to accomplish with what they had available at the time was actually pretty smart. And so, me playing it as a 32-year-old now, I have to say the game left a good first impression.
Yeah.
You know, I like the title screen. I like the sound effects that go on in the title screen.
Yeah.
Along with, you know, shortly afterwards, you pick your character. I think both of those character models look really good. I like how they give them a little bit of character. You know, just in the character selection screen, they're just not stagnant. You know, like,
Oh, yeah.
They actually move a little bit. And along with, you know, the map, it's like you're going to be going out throughout all of these areas. You know, this is where the missions are going to take place.
Oh, yeah, when you first choose the mission.
Yeah.
And it shows the whole map of the... Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But along with that, you know, the next thing that you see is just the equipment stuff. And it's like, there's all these items here, but there's just this rack that's missing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, how do I get this missing stuff?
It's enticing.
Yeah, it is enticing. You know, to me, getting the Grand Master, even though as a kid, I cheated all that stuff. I don't know if it was Game Shark or just a cheat code. It was probably just a cheat code. I don't know. I wanted to use all the extra items, but now that I've gone through the game, and I mean, I haven't grandmastered all of it. I still have to do the last level, but I plan on doing that. It's actually, it's pretty rewarding. Some of the items are definitely better than others.
Yeah, using your criteria of good first impression, good game, I would say this succeeded very well. Because watching you play, I really wanted to play. I was like, man, I want to do that. I want to explore this, you know, little village / daimyo area, whatever. I want to, you know, sneak kill these bad guys. I want to use all these ninja tools. I want to do that. Watching you play really gave me the desire to play the game. So that was a success in that regard.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And not every single game is going to do that, right? A game might look boring, but it could end up being fun.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing, you know?
Well, sure. I mean, ultimately, you want it. That's true. No matter what it is, whether it is fun to play or not, you want it to look fun to play to encourage people to buy / play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if a game doesn't look fun to play, I'm still going to play it. You know, I'm still going to give it a chance.
Yeah? How much of a chance?
I think enough to get a good opinion of it, or at least a solid opinion of it.
Oh, okay.
You know, I try to do that with multiple things, whatever it is. You know, because you said that you really liked Misadventures of Tron Bonne.
Yeah.
I plan on playing that probably after Brave Fencer Musashi.
But going back to Tenchu, one thing I will say for a game that, when did it come out? It was PlayStation 1, so it was like...
I think it was 97.
So yeah, so over 20 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. It's old.
Yeah, for a game that old, the graphics definitely have aged.
Yeah.
Especially the draw distance. That kind of thing. It's like, how could you not see 20 feet in front of you? That is very much a restriction of the hardware. But I think the genre, the theme, makes good use of that. Because it's a ninja game where you want to be in the darkness, you want to be hiding. And so it kind of makes sense that, you know, it's nighttime. It's ancient times, so there's not a lot of there's no electricity.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of lights, so you can't see very far. And just so the enemies can't see you for very far. And so I think that the draw distance specifically works well with the theme. The graphics as a whole, on the other hand, maybe not so much. But again, 20 years old, for what they were working with, I think they did a pretty good job with the graphics.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
A game that's this old, obviously it's gonna age, and most of the time these things age in a bad way, not in a good way.
It's a good testament to how good they are when looking at how long they last and are still fun in comparison to the current times.
I mean, graphically, I was impressed by it when I was a kid. But nowadays, I'm not impressed. I like the fact that the characters have their own look and feel to them.
Do they? Because we never played with Ayame. I only got to see her in a couple cutscenes in the character select menu.
Yeah, she does play differently.
How so?
Well, she does less damage, but she is more speed-based.
Oh.
And she actually has a 4-hit combo instead of just a 3-hit.
Interesting.
Anyways, back to talking about the graphics.
Yeah. Talking about the levels. Just, how even with the hardware limitations, they still did a good job of making it feel like where it was. Not just with, the darkness and theming around ninjas, but like the snow looked like snow. If I remember correctly, there was snow in the air. There was snow on the trees. That was really cool. There was the harbor level. There was the mountain level. Mountain level really felt like mountains.
Yeah, it did.
And also there was linear levels, and then there was open levels too, which you needed to explore in. Like the first one, you needed to find the bad guy. They didn't tell you where he was.
Yeah, and it was all very graphically cohesive. It looked. It just pretty much said, you're going to be in this place, and you go there, and hey, it looks like you're in that place. The characters all look good. The levels look good. The items, none of them look the same. They all have their unique look. Now, I get that I didn't use a lot of the items, but like the poison rice and the colored rice, they look different. I think the colored rice is useless. But all the items look different. You have different scrolls, and they have different colors based upon what they do. So graphically, I think, once again, the game does look aged, but I think it is sound. You can say for this year, 1997 or 1998, whenever it came out, this was a good-looking game.
Yeah,
you can actually say that about this game
for sure. So the sound in Tenchu, I think that was pretty good. Everything either sounded like it was supposed to or was enjoyable. The small caveats there were the the voice acting, of course, was really bad.
Yeah, it was.
But the sounds that the enemies made were like, hurrah! It was. A guard would not say it like that. A demon might, but all the enemies were like, "Rah!" If I remember correctly.
Yeah, they do have their own weird type of grunt.
Yeah,
I don't even know if it's a grunt.
A guttural growl. Oh man.
So,
like all the chings of the swords and the swooshes and the sound effect of you using your grappling hook.
Yeah,
that was not realistic, but still cool.
It's
enjoyable. Feels like what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah, and I think that is also like a testament to how good those sound effects are, because I can see an image of Tenchu, or I can watch like a muted video of Tenchu, and I can kind of make up those sounds in my head based off of what I've heard. It's like, yeah, I know what the grappling hook sounds like. I know what the sword, sounds like. Oh, he's using that item. I also know what that sounds like.
I know what the poisoned rice sounds like.
Oh, yeah. Sound design, I think it's all very memorable. Some of it's memorable in a good way. Some of it's memorable in a not so good way.
Funny way.
But
yeah,
it's all good.
I think that also goes into the music too, because a lot of the times, except for that last level song, and I'm gonna get there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk about that.
That's fine.
The rest of the songs, you heard me humming along. Even the intro, bah, bah,
Yeah.
it got stuck in my head.
Yeah, exactly. I totally hear it.
Yeah. Bum 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 bum. That kind of stuff gets stuck in your head, and it's really it's enjoyable. It's not annoyingly stuck in my head either, but like it fits. It pumps you up when there's action, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna sneak kill this guy. Dun, 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 dun. It really gets you going. And it fits the mood, it fits the theme, it fits everything, and it doesn't detract, it doesn't distract. It's good. Except for that last level's song. I don't know what they were thinking. They were just like, we need the penultimate song that talks about everything. It does everything a song can do. And then they just went too far with it, because first of all, there's several instances in the song that are different from everything else. Mm-hmm. It's like there's a slow, quiet part, and then there's a fast, chaotic part, and then there's like a normal part, and then there's a second normal part that still sounds a little weird. Without any connection to the level and what's going on, it sounds crazy. Because you could be in the middle of a fight and it's just like slow and quiet. But if that's like how the song is throughout the whole level, that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But then you could be like, ooh, I'm going to sneak up on this guy. And the song's just going... You're like, calm down, song. What is going on? Oh my gosh. It was so distracting. One of the most, like, I can't come up with another game that had a song in it that was so distracting. I can't even imagine it. I can't even remember one that was that bad. And speaking of levels and how they're designed, I mentioned earlier how there were open levels and there were linear levels. Mm-hmm. And I think they both worked really well. And in fact, if the whole game was open levels, then that would get a little old. If the whole game was linear levels, that too would get old. The fact that they switched it up, and here's a couple open, there's a linear, there's another open, then there's a couple linear. I think that worked really well.
Yeah, I think the level design, along with the amount of levels that are in the game, I want to say that it's like the perfect amount.
Really?
I think if this game had like 2 more levels or 3 more levels, unless they really started to do different stuff, it would just feel like these things are just overstaying their welcome.
Well, okay, that's fair.
The thing that I really liked about the level design is just how many options it gives the player. So, how you climb is primarily the hook, but there's a lot of things to hook onto to get an upper edge on the bad guys. You can see someone somewhat as they're like not spawning right in front of you, but they're just kind of the draw distance, because of the limitation of the draw distance. You're going forward, you don't see someone, and then you see them. Most of the time, like you can see far enough ahead of yourself to somewhat retreat, though it doesn't always work that way. But I think you can primarily use that to work in your favor, but also by being, going up on the roof, they give you enough of an advantage so you can get enough stealth kills
Right.
and get a Grandmaster ranking. But I also really like that even though like you said, there's open-ended levels and then there's linear levels,
Mm-hmm.
I still think that the levels themselves still have a certain flow to them.
Sure. The only level that I would say could have used some more work is I think it was the first level with the demons in it.
The cult?
Yeah. Where you first experience those fire breathing jerks.
Yeah. Yeah, the cult level.
Yeah, where it's a little unclear where to go, and some of the areas looked different than others, and then you get to the statue room and you're like, am I supposed to climb this? Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but that level felt a little disconnected, and I didn't quite feel that the flow of that level worked as well. Like the ones that stand out to me are the first level, the harbor level, the mountain level, where you're climbing up the mountain.
Yeah.
And the last level. Those are the ones that stand out to me. Those are the ones that I remember fairly well. They worked. The other level that stands out to me is that one, the cold level. But it stands out in my memory because of how weird it was.
When it came to the characters actually like traversing and looking for you once you've been spotted,
yeah,
I think they did a good enough job to be able to find you and keep on chasing you.
it did seem like the only way that you could avoid the enemies is by like just getting out of there. There are some games where Assassin's Creed is one that comes to mind, is where you're being chased by an enemy. You just go around a corner and then wait for them to come around the corner, and you can sneak kill them that way. And that shouldn't be possible. Even though it's fun to do in Assassin's Creed, that shouldn't be a thing where you just like, you duck around a corner, go up against the corner, and wait for them to come close, and then you grab them from around the corner. That's the thing you can do. You can go go up against a wall next to a corner, and there's an option to sneak kill where you just quickly dash around, grab them, and pull them back. And if there's a guy running at you, following you, like knowing that you're a bad guy, trying to kill you, you shouldn't be able to sneak kill them in any way because they're on alert.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Tenchu wasn't like that. Tenchu was like, if they know you're there, you don't get to sneak kill them. You have to like get out of the situation. You can't run around a corner and hide. You can't dash behind a tree and like, oh, where'd the enemy go? Where'd this ninja go? No, you have to get out of there, let them calm down, and then come in again with a different strategy. I like that.
Yeah, I think the game did a really good job at that, because if you mess up, and I messed up a lot, there's consequences for that. You know, I was trying my best, but I really wasn't doing too good. And, you know, as I went on through the game and I started to get more Grandmasters, the game started to make more and more sense, and it was rewarding me for playing how the developers wanted me to play.
Yeah.
And it did a good job with that. And however, for the most part, like I said, even though some levels were stronger than others, for the most part, I did enjoy the levels.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed how they all looked. I enjoyed exploring them all. I think they all did a good job with that.
Yeah, and it was nice of them to leave some items around for you to pick up midway through.
And good. I do love how the layouts do change, because you can't just constantly rely on, oh, I'm going to sneak past this guy here, or I know that this item is going to be here. Sometimes it's different, you know. Sometimes
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, sometimes some items aren't in the same location, or they're just missing entirely.
Really? Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I think I remember you mentioning something like that. The item that we were looking for it ended up being in the same spot. But yeah, that's interesting. You can't always rely on that. That's interesting. And I know definitely some enemies, when they're, on their little patrol, it doesn't always line up the same with how it was before. So, like, you can't just go run at this guy, kill this guy, and then go run at this guy and then kill this guy because he's in the perfect position for you to just sneak kill, sneak kill, sneak kill. Sometimes, if you screw up and you leave and then come back, the patrols are offset.
Yeah,
so you can't do that anymore. Or there's another guy wandering around that, wasn't there before. And that's cool. I like that.
I really liked how the fighting moves were telegraphed. Because I talked about this a little bit, and I think this was during the third mission. I'm not sure if it was the first time or the second time. But I really like how there's a very obvious wind up to your attack. There's a very obvious, this is the attacking portion of the attack. And then it's, okay, now you've entered into the recovery phase of the attack. I really like how they telegraph that with like a sound, and also how there's like a white trail that follows your sword.
Oh yeah.
Along with the sort of the bad guys, because, and I think the best example of this is probably when you have to cross the checkpoint. The guy that has the two swords, he has a 2-hit attack, and one of them has a very quick wind up, and then he instantly goes into the next attack. But that one has a super long wind up, and all that's just telegraphed by the sound effects and just you looking at the trail on his sword. Because otherwise it's like, okay, he's doing this thing, but when exactly is he going to attack? You're not sure. And then he does it once, and you're just like, okay, based off all the information that the game gave me, I got the general idea, of like what I can do while he's doing this stuff, right here. Now, so yeah, I think the way that they made it, the main characters, Rikimaru and Ayame, they are good fighters, but I also like that all the bosses themselves are also good fighters.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that. So there was, who are the bosses? There is the fat guy.
Yeah,
who has a gun.
Ichigoya.
And then there's the fat guy's assistant. He's more of a mini boss.
Yeah, and he's harder than the fat guy. Yeah, in my opinion.
Then the next one after that is what, the checkpoint? Or no, there was a pirate boss.
That's I think the 5th or 6th level.
The harbor?
Yeah.
No, that was the 3rd level, I think.
No, the 3rd level is where you have to rescue Ayame, and it's the
Ayame. Oh right.
And it's the big guy with a bear.
With a bear. Oh, okay.
Which
well,
I never remembered the bear as a kid.
Yeah, I don't remember now. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
There was a big guy with a bear. Haha. Okay. Was there? So there was a pirate guy, right?
Yeah, I think that's like the 5th or 6th level.
And then there was the checkpoint guy.
Yeah, the checkpoint you start out with the chick with the naginata. And then you end with her older brother, and he's the dual katana.
And then you have Oni Cage a couple times.
Yeah, you do.
And then you have Lord Mayo. So we've been talking for quite a while. I should probably wrap it up.
Oh, yeah.
Final presentation, I would say this game knocks it out of the park with what it is. Don't expect a lot, especially compared to games nowadays. But if you go in knowing what to expect, technologically, graphically, then it's a slam dunk. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'd have to say that as a kid, I'd probably give this game a 9. Now as an adult, I'd give it an 8.
I was thinking 7.5, 8. Yeah, same.
It's a solid game. If you've never played it, and this is your type of game, give it a shot. Yep. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this playthrough that we did of it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this whole review. Anyways, that'll be all for now, and see you guys next time.
Bye.